What's up? Welcome to Horticulture Geek. We're giving the garden an upgrade today. Hey there guys, and welcome back to Horticulture Geek. I'm Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hey, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you aren't a member of the channel yet. Today we are going to be working on an upgrade right here in the garden. Let me flip the camera around and show you what we're working with. Okay. So right here in the garden, I have a old water fountain. It was a two-tiered water fountain with a planter bowl on top. I inherited this from a neighbor because it started to crack and would no longer hold water. And I said, ooh, I'll take it and use it as a planter. And it's doing okay. I've got some sedums and stuff in it. But it is really starting to fall apart because this is not stone, this is fiberglass, plastic. And if I pull you in down here, you can see the whole side is falling out. It has a really bad soil reservoir and it's just not working. So this fountain, this old planter is coming out and I'm putting in this one. This is a glazed pottery pot. It is huge. You can see in there, it's got a blue glaze overlaid with a red glaze overlaid. I mean, it's awesome. So it's got a purpley bluish hue on it. And so we are gonna put this right there. So I've been looking for something to go in the spot for a while. I wanted something that was not a traditional round pot. I wanted something that had some height to it. And I wanted something just a little bit different than something I already have. If you follow my channel, you know I have a thing for pots. I have pots all over the yard like most gardeners do. I love container gardening. So I found this planter at Ollie's. If you don't have an Ollie's near you, I'm sorry. If you have an Ollie's near you and you haven't been to it yet, go. This large planter at Ollie's, I paid $59 for it. Now, this exact same size at a local garden center of a glazed piece of pottery runs about $130. So I picked this one up at a bargain price. There's absolutely nothing in the world wrong with it. It was made in Thailand, but that doesn't bother me. And then they got a discount on it and sold it here in the States. I'm loving it. And I've got some really awesome things to put in it. But before we get to that point, I'm going to run drip lines into this pot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drip tubing and I'm going to put it up through the drain hole in the bottom of the pot and then just run it through. That way I have drip tubing in the pot that won't be seen. A lot of times when you are working with an existing pot, you just run a drip tube up the side, but then you always see that drip tube running on the side of the pot. I don't want that. So I'm going to run my drip tube up the inside of the pot through the drain hole. Then I can connect it into my irrigation zone here. So once I get that, I've got to then fill it with dirt. And the first step is to clear the old fountain planter away. Now those plants aren't going to be chunked. I'm going to take those plants and distribute them other places in the garden. And then I'm going to get this purple pot put there, get a level spot worked up and put the pot there. So I think I'm just going to set you guys up and let you see the work going forward. So here we go. so here, I wanted to give you a shot here of where we're at. So when you saw me do this, I pulled out just a little level and I tried to level up the dirt under the pot before I moved it over here. And then when I got the pot in place, I used the level again. Now, this obviously doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, we're not building something fancy here. I just wanted my pot as level as possible, and it will settle out, and that's fine. But I've started out as level as it can be, and it's pretty spot on. And you can see I've got my drip tube coming out of the bottom there, and now it is in here as well. So I have the drip tube here, and I will fill this with dirt, and then the drip tube will be able to run around the pot to water everything. So I am going to start filling this puppy up and then show you the plants I got. Here we go. All right, so here is the plants that are going in the pot. I mean, how pretty is that? So this is a rose. There you go, Rosa New Year. It's a Floribunda. All right. So my other plants that are going to go around this rose are white. And I am super excited here. This is the Proven Winners Diamond Snow Euphorbia. I mean, look at how well that white is going to pop against that orangey rose. So I've got two of those. I've got two of the Dichondra Silver Falls. So that will trail down the side of the pot and look beautiful. And brand new this year, just released onto the open market this year, is the Proven Winners Supertunia Vista Snowdrift. So this is an all-white Supertunia. Now, if you are a fan of Laura over at Garden Answer, she did 5 drifts of these in her West Side garden last year, and they were stunning. Proven Winners works with her, and she was able to trial this plant for them, one of the locations, and they were beautiful. So these just hit the market this year for open retail for general consumers, and I've already picked 2 up for this pot. So as you can see, it's going to be just a load of white and silver hugging this orangey rose and spilling over the side of that purple pot, and I think it's going to be absolutely stunning. So now I'm going to set the camera back up, and we are going to get all of this stuff into that pot. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to use some of the Espoma Biotone to put in here to get the roots going in this pot. So here it is, all planted up, watered in. So I've got a euphorbia and a silver falls, and then a euphorbia and a silver, so I alternated those. Then I got a super tunia on this side and a super tunia on that side. All of those plants will get ginormous. By the end of the summer, those super tunias will completely shroud this whole pot. Like, I doubt we'll be able to see much. So this is probably really overplanted, even though it doesn't look like much now. This is really an overplanted pot, and I'm hoping that Rose will be happy there in the middle. So that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this new upgraded pot together. It's so nice to get in that old water fountain pot out of the way. Now, it was super fun, and I enjoyed it for several years. But it was one of those things where it was just, it's raggedy. It's literally falling apart. Every time you touched it, another piece would fall off. So it was really time for it to go. And this is just super nice. I'm already in love with it. So I hope this has inspired you. Don't forget to put irrigation and stuff. If you have an irrigation system, like I showed you, run that line up through the center of the pot. That way you don't see it. So you don't see any lines here. And what I didn't show you is I did go ahead and I spliced in the line. So I've got 3 2-gallon per hour emitters spaced out around that pot. So all of those plants should get more than enough water. They should be really happy once I get it tied into the irrigation system. I have not tied it in yet. That's the project for another day because I'm losing light. But I'll just water it with the hose for now. And with the drip irrigation, watering the soil only and not having to use my hose pipe really will help that rose stay healthier against the black spot and all the other things that roses battle. But for now, I'll just be careful. I'll water it and we'll be good to go. So like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that has inspired you, maybe given you some thoughts. Maybe I've introduced you to some new plants that you didn't know about yet. Get out. All the garden centers and the big box stores are absolutely full of stuff. Be careful right now though. I did have to go to several stores to get this stuff. I went to local garden centers, except for the rose. The rose came from the big box store. But I just happened to be at the store at a time when it was not crowded. So I went in and got stuff I needed. I got the pot at the store when it was not crowded. And then the other plants I put around there, guys, I got those at a local garden center. I was literally at one garden center, I was the only person in the store. And then at another garden center I went to, I was like one of 5 people in there. So meanwhile, most of the big box stores are packed and they're limiting people that can get in there right now with all the craziness that's going on in the world. So stay safe. Don't let garden put you in harm's way. You can absolutely still get out and still get your stuff. Just be smart about it and be safe. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Tune in next time for my next video. You never know what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go, or what we're gonna get up to. So you might as well hit that bell. That way you know every time I post something new. But until next time, guys, from my garden to yours, I wish you all the best and happy gardening.